Player introductions are wrapped up. The starting fives for both teams, as we're just about ready to get this one started.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello to each and every one of you, and I mean that with all sincerity. Good to have you here for this matchup tonight. San Antonio Spurs against the Toronto Raptors here at their home, Scotiabank Arena. Checking out Toronto. 9th place is where they are in the conference standings right now, and it's probably a pretty satisfying position to be in at this stage of the season compared to their bottom-of-the-barrel finish a year ago. One thing we're seeing, Kenny, certain teams that started off hot are now falling by the wayside.
Man, that happens every year. This is nothing new. No surprise. Everyone does it. The league catches up to them at some point.
You know, after teams adjust to you, you have to adjust back. If you can't, shows you weren't all that to begin with.
Very true, very true. Here's Kevin Harlan as we get ready for the tip.
Live coverage of the NBA here on 2K Sports. A happy Sunday evening to you and yours. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a prolific scorer, but he's also a dangerous drive and kick weapon. He said, "I never pay attention to the defender guarding me. I look at the 4 guys behind him and how they react. A lot of times I don't even look to score. I draw 3 or 4 guys and get my teammates open shots." Kevin?
Great vision, David. Thank you. And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting. Balloting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
You take a look at Gasol. With the voting as it is now, it looks like he'll miss out on a spot in the starting lineup for the East.
Yeah, not even in the top 10, but it shouldn't take away from what he's done this year. It's been a very good season for him.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase. We'll keep you updated with the results each day during the voting. And a look at the starters for San Antonio. It's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. Derek White is out there with DeJounte Murray. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 slot. And for the Raptors, Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slot. Van Vliet and Lowry are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol in at the center. Now the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
And here is Van Vliet. Outside Lowry. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
Well, if you give him a window of opportunity, Kyle Lowry will attack the basket. He's not going to pass up that chance, Kevin.
So it's the Spurs now. Stolen by Van Vliet. The drive by Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Here's Pirtle after the Raptors pick up 2. DeRozan scanning the floor. Just 4 to shoot. Pirtle finds DeRozan. Here's Aldridge. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
Now, here's Gasol. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Hornets in Charlotte. Lowry passes to Gasol. That shot, no good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd. And that's obviously easier said than done.
I'll tell you this, it looked like they wanted to get out of town as quickly as possible. The problem is their defense went with them.
Now White following the three-point attempt by DeRozan. Now the pass to Aldridge. Second shot opportunity. He can't hit that time. Gasol with the defensive effort. And so Siakam will bring it up for Toronto. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
A rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
I'll tell you this, Greg, if you're going to allow your opponent to make that many shots, you have got to be as solid on the offensive end, and clearly they were not.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Pass to Van Vliet. Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Murray. Gasol looking around. Clock at 6. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
I think quickness has probably never been more important in the NBA, but you cannot overlook the value of strength. Think about a guy like Kyle Lowry. He's not the biggest, he's not the most explosive, but he's got strength and he's got that bulldog mentality.
Throw good, Lowry. And Kyle Lowry, Doris, never shy about contact.
You're right, Kevin. Never shy on either end, offensively or defensively. Kyle Lowry will get into you. He is the tone setter with his physicality and his effort level.
Both good from the line that time. Well, when it comes to load management strategy, Doris, should coaches do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter, third of the season?
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
Yep, that one goes in there. And it's 6 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And when Pirtle sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
Now, here is Lowry. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. Here's Anunoby. Siakam kicks to Anunoby. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And the muscle that Anunoby possesses, fantastic at gutting it out through contact and finishing.
2 seasons at Indiana for OG Anunoby and the 23rd pick of the 2017 draft. Great talk about his game.
You know, NBA ready physically from day one. You know, still working for consistency with his shooting, especially at the free throw line. But I like his potential as a two-way player.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
And the potential Anunoby has is exciting. Has the athleticism, the shooting touch, and the drive to keep improving.
He just powered that one down.
One of the game's top dunkers. And the Raptors with the ball after the basket by San Antonio. Van Vliet looking around. And a miss there on the triple.
Got his hand out enough on that one to bother the three-point attempt. Great hustle on that one.
You know, we talk about this time and time again, trying to stay connected to shooters along the perimeter. Nicely done.
DeRozan. Here's Pirtle. And another shot. And Gasol sends it back.
What defensive instincts. What timing by Marc Gasol. Nice block.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
San Antonio shooting their first foul shots of the night here. And the first one drops. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Raptors trail by 3. Now here's Van Vliet. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Charlotte.
Now what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game.
Here's Anunoby. Siakam inside. Aldridge is covering. San Antonio leading by 3. Passes it to White. Out to DeRozan. This one for 3. And it's Gasol with the rebound.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
It's tipped, and he gets it back. Siakam left side. Shoots over DeRozan. And the Raptors miss again.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
And it's White missing.
I'll tell you, most of the time this guy's going to finish that, but that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the San Antonio Spurs. 3-point lead. This game against Toronto here, it's their first look at the Raptors.
And this game will be half of the contest they'll play against each other this year.
It's an interesting matchup. 2 teams that don't know each other all that well. Separate conferences. We'll see which one can dictate the pace early.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And with their offense sputtering, coaches got to get them back on track.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for OG Anunoby. The Spurs also changing it up. Rudy Gay's checked in for White. And it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. Now here's Gay after the Marc Gasol miss from 10 feet out, and the shot is long. Lowry against DeRozan. Lowry's shot is good.
Well, no fear in Kyle Lowry's game. This guy is happy to take it inside and seek you out.
Here's Mills. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis. DeRozan dishes to Mills. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And it's in there. Raptors trail by 5. Now Van Vliet. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Outside Gasol. Back to Van Vliet. And stolen by Aldridge. In transition, here come the Spurs. Here's DeRozan. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And the Spurs lead by 7.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Outside Lowry. Gasol inside. Hurdles there. Mills with the steal. With some arc, and it's good on the way in. And now it's a 9-point Spurs lead.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Here's Van Vliet. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Here's Ibaka. No good off the back of the rim. San Antonio with the ball. They're on an 18-7 run. DeRozan passes to Mills. Siakam against Gay. Pirtle inside. Outside DeRozan. Shot clock at 6. Here's Aldridge. Connects in the foul line jumper. Aldridge has got 8 points.
It's early, but they are getting pummeled on the glass.
Lowry drives in, and it's sent back by Aldridge. And here's Mills for 3. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end, Greg. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
And the Raptors call time here.
And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, Marcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
Some changes for Toronto. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Gasol. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Pascal Siakam. And it's Powell in for Fred Van Vliet. Lyles checked in for San Antonio. Bryn Forbes comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And that turnaround jumper of Aldridge's. Greg, just impossible to defend.
Long arms, that high release point, when it's falling, well, we saw him give OKC 56. This man can take over.
As you and I were just talking about this, as more and more players are going public with their trade requests, do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on. And Johnson drops them both. Mills with it. He has 5. Pass to Aldridge. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And here's Lowry. 6 points for him. Ibaka, the pass to Hollis Jefferson. It's Powell on the wing. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Now here's Mills. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. 1:57 left here in the first quarter. From deep. Powell pulls it in.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Now here is Lowry. He's covered closely. That one goes in. .133 left in the first. There's the pass to Aldridge. Over Johnson. And the Spurs scoring again.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
Now here's Lowry, covered by Mills. Here's Ibaka. Nice D from Aldridge.
What a masterful job on the defensive end. Did everything possible to alter that shot.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Now Mills. He has 5. 55 seconds left to play in the first. Lyles no good. Raptors trail by 14. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
We call that floor vision, gentlemen. Kyle Lowry with the pretty pass.
.44 seconds left to play here in the first. Mills passes to Lyles. Here is Forbes, guarded by Powell. Pass to Bellinelli. Shot clock at 5. Over Ibaka. The shot by Bellinelli. No good.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Count the basket.
I'll tell you, despite this guy's strong play in this period, they're still behind. Someone else has got to step up.
Here's Gay. Passes to Mills. Fires from deep. That one, no good. LaMarcus Aldridge has been on display for the San Antonio Spurs. He caused a lot of headaches with his defense that quarter, coming up with steals again and again. Back to the action after this word. Coming off a down performance, DeMar DeRozan talks about how he channels that anger.
You need that extra push beside you once you step out there on the court. You know, you don't forget that feeling, the moments of, as a true competitor, of letting your team down or not doing something you know you're able to do that you've been doing all season.
And you know, Greg, you like hearing that. Shows that DeRozan cares and knows it's his job to lead this team.
And everyone has bad games, even a star like DeRozan. It's all about how you respond to those tough performances.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
And a few of those led to quick scores at the other end. Really active first quarter for them.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Toronto right now, Lowry and Powell, the guards. Johnson is out there with Hollis Jefferson. And it's Ibaka in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Here's Mills, following the basket by Stanley Johnson. Gay inside. 7-foot shot. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
And Gay has great length down on the block there. Fantastic at just jumping on opportunities to score when he's down low.
Now here's Johnson. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
Well, if you offer no resistance defensively, he's going to knock down the three. It's really that simple, guys.
And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. Mills passes to Lyles. Gay scanning the floor. Poke loose. Outside Lowry. Off with the layup.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity. Guys, Guys, how about the journey of the Raptors' Nick Nurse? So well traveled before taking the head job in Toronto. This guy has shown his worth in his first season as a head coach in the NBA. It translates to a title. Absolutely incredible.
Here's Mills, following the score by Serge Ibaka. Makes it off the glass. Mills has got 7 points.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
And Coach Nick Nurse paid some dues, Doris, before his turn as head coach of this Toronto team.
Well, think about it. Early in his career, he's a player coach in the British Basketball League. Then he goes and establishes a G League franchise in his home state of Iowa. Then to lead that team to a title in 2011, join another G League team for the Raptors and win a title in 2013. Really an incredible journey, guys.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Doris, you and I enjoy discussing pure scores, great shooters, but guys that can score a myriad of ways. Give us a couple of names that we don't always hear about that really impressed you.
Well, one young man who I think has got an offensive game that is really continuing to grow and is quite beautiful already is Zach LaVine. But probably the best example, Kev, would have to be the multi-time winner of the Six-Man Award, and that's Sweet Lou Williams. This guy can score against any defense. He's great in pick and roll. He has become a better playmaker, but Lou Williams is a problem to guard.
And as people will say, he is a professional scorer.
That's perfect, yes.
That's good from Johnson. And the Raptors with some changes. OG Anunoby comes in for Hollis Jefferson, and McCaw is subbed in for Powell. Then for the Spurs, Derek White comes in for Bryn Forbes, and Murray subbed in for Patty Mills. So Johnson hits 2 of them. Murray with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. It's stolen by Lowry. Here's Anunoby. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists now in this one.
And can't do much else. The strength of Anunoby comes in handy on those challenging finishes.
Spurs leading by 4. Murray, the pass to Lyles. Gay against Johnson. A second chance effort. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
All right, a chance to take a look at some stats for Murray. How his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging 11 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
The free throw drops for Gay.
And the thing about Rudy Gay, you never know when he's going to have a night where he just explodes. He's one of those guys that can just score in bunches.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Marc Gasol checked in for Ibaka. Pascal Siakam comes in for Johnson. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. And he makes both free throws. And so Siakam will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. 6-point game. It's off to Oklahoma City for him after this game, so they have the Thunder to look forward to. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Here's Anunoby. He has 5. From the baseline. It's hauled in by Gay.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
I don't know if he's trying to show off for the crowd or what, but there's no reason for that kind of shot.
Pirtle with the steal. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. Murray left side. Pass to Gay. 6 to shoot. The Spurs rebound. Pirtle's shot is off.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Now here's Murray. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Rebound by the Raptors. And here is Van Vliet. The pass to Anunoby. Here's Gasol. Gasol is doubled. Stolen by Gay. In transition, here comes San Antonio. White's running. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Wow, that is just pretty right there. What a find for his teammate at the rim.
This is his third free throw attempt of the game.
And he's kept his percentage at a decent level, right around 74.
And that one falls for White. Here's Van Vliet. Pass to McCaw. Back to Van Vliet. Right side Gasol. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Pirtle, and the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down to 7 on the bucket from Marc Gasol.
Yeah, they've gotten into a nice flow this quarter.
And San Antonio shooting not great, 40% for the game. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Marc doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
Here's Siakam after the basket by San Antonio. Gasol inside, shoots over Pirtle. Again, Toronto.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Now here's Murray. 9 points last game. Good D by Siakam.
I think he's got to settle down, because right now it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter he has been completely bothered.
Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst. Breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
Stolen by Van Vliet. And it's good for 2. Van Vliet's got his first basket.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
San Antonio with the ball. They've led by as many as 14 points. To the inside, White. The feed to Pirtle. Over in the corner, White. Nice spin off the left rim and in. White's got 9.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Pass to Gasol. Over Pirtle, and the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut back down to 3 on the basket from Marc Gasol.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And it's White missing. After shooting 55% from the floor, they're feeling very confident offensively. Here's DeRozan. No good on the triple.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's guarded closely. Out to the right wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Siakam trying to free himself up. Can't cash in from close range. 3-on-3. Here's White. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Raptors trail by 3. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness, Greg. His toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
And he knocks down the first one. Undrafted out of Wichita State, Fred Van Vliet. Never the most heralded player, Doris. But you know, he says he bet on himself, and it's worked.
No doubt. Van Vliet's belief in himself gets him a 2-year, $18 million contract. But I think beyond that, this man, in the moments that mattered most in the playoffs, proved that Fred Van Vliet will deliver. You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Murray, no good. And here's Toronto. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Offensive rebound. Here's Siakam. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
To the paint. Here's DeRozan. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Boy, officials say play on, even though there's contact. DeRozan, I guess they don't think he needs any help.
Now here's Van Vliet. Pass to Siakam. The pass to Van Vliet. It's in and hoping this is the start of a new trend. 2 for 8 now from the field.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Here's Murray. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Knocks it loose. Gasol with the steal. And now Siakam pushing it up, and no one back to stop him.
That's fantastic shot making this quarter after struggling a bit in the first.
Spurs trail by 3. Murray surveying the D. Up and in on the layup. Murray's got 4 points this quarter. Now Van Vliet. 6 points for him. Pass to McCaw. Now here's Gasol. And they double up Gasol. Here's McCaw. Doesn't go for him. Murray with the defensive effort. And so White will bring it up for the Spurs. Murray outside. To shoot. He feeds it to Aldridge. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 5th assist in this one.
And I love how Aldridge uses his size to hold his own against defenders and just routinely scores up over the top.
And the Raptors call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
San Antonio trailing here. Passes it to Bellinelli. Back to Aldridge. Another shot. Serge Ibaka pulls it in. The Raptor shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Out of Cameroon, Pascal Siakam drastically improved last year, Doris. Is he the prototypical modern power forward?
He is, Kevin, and there's a few reasons why. The guy can rip and run. He can space the floor. He is switchable on the perimeter defensively. He can go inside, outside. Everything you want in terms of versatility, Pascal Siakam brings to the table.
First free throw is good.
I think, guys, maybe what you appreciate most about Pascal Siakam is his versatility. He can score from a number of areas. He can guard multiple positions. There is a lot to like about this young man.
Siakam hits them both.
Boy, you look at all the athletes on this team. How about Pascal Siakam? This guy may be the fastest power forward in the NBA. And if you couple that with ball handling, this guy is tremendous in transition.
Lyles no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And the dunk by Powell.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
There's 25 seconds left in the first half. Now here's Mills. Now recovering. 12 seconds left in the first half. Mills can't hit. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Beginning to take charge of this game. This could be a crucial point.
Well, working hard, building out a small lead, but you can't afford any kind of letdown here.
And so it's Toronto, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Kyle Lowry. Kyle, you came out strong to take advantage in the first half. Were you pleased with the effort?
Yeah, we got to keep it up. Our defensive intensity has to stay high.
That has led to some great play at the other end. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Kyle Lowry had a huge first quarter. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Spurs?
They're not getting to the line or putting enough pressure on the defense. They have to be much more aggressive pushing the basketball, going hard to the rack. Because if you want the ref to make a call, put them in the position to make a judgment call. If you're not creating opportunities for contact, you have no chance of picking up points at the line.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. We're seeing a tremendous game from LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Raptors leading by 7. Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. It's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. DeJounte Murray is out there with White. And it's DeRozan in at the 3. Gasol shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
That's his first personal foul.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
No good on that one. And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
And you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
Now here's DeRozan. Back to Pirtle. Outside Aldridge. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from free throw range, and it's Toronto with the rebound. Siakam's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Pass to Gasol. Back to Siakam. Shoots over Pirtle, and Siakam gets it to go on the assist by Gasol. Siakam's got the lead up to 10 now for Toronto. About 1 minute played here in the second half. Murray, the pass to Aldridge. Lowry against White. Puts it up. And it's DeRozan missing. Toronto leading by 10. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23, and he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. After winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. Now here's Van Vliet following the miss by DeRozan. That shot wide open. Siakam's got 13.
Not only is Pascal Siakam elevating his offensive game, he's elevating his efficiency. He is working right now.
Now here is Pirtle. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. And finished off by DeRozan.
Just terrific communication between teammates. DeRozan times his leap to perfection, and the pass was perfect.
Here's Van Vliet following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Outside Gasol. Shot clock at 6. Here's Lowry. And he finishes nicely on the layup. 14 points for him.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Spurs trail by 13.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. Spurs making a switch here. Gay's checked in. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Here's Murray. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
1 for 5 has got to be a frustrating start, and they just don't look sharp right now. Can they find their offensive game?
Now here's Murray. Shoots over Van Vliet. The wide open look here for DeRozan. San Antonio again missing.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
And here's White. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Trailing by 13.
Boy, defense nowhere to be found, and neither was his shot at that time.
Now here's Van Vliet. Here's Siakam. Oh, that was a strong dunk.
That is nice.
Well, the athletic ability of Pascal Siakam with a little sauce there.
Here's DeRozan. 8 points for him. Gay in the corner. Here's the three. Cranes the three-pointer. Gay's got 10 points.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Van Vliet with it. He has 6. Lowry at the elbow. Second chance shot. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on Jakob Poeltl.
Well, this guy is just a load on the interior. Marc Gasol uses his size. He uses his angles to get where he wants to go.
And that one falls for Marc Gasol.
You think back to when Marc Gasol first entered the league. This was a big guy whose skills were certainly developing at the time. Now he's incredibly polished and a tremendous leader.
The Raptors making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. That one is no good. Doris, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction. Now that's a bad shot until it goes through the net.
Spurs trail by 12. Murray outside. And there's the pass to White. Outside DeRozan. Just 5 on the clock. Gay with it. Now guarded by Siakam. And it's White missing. Raptors leading by 12. Siakam inside. He's covered by Gay. Siakam misses. San Antonio's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Murray kicks to Gay. Out to DeRozan. Johnson with the block.
This guy has not been a factor at all in this quarter, and it has hurt the team.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And Toronto making a change here. McCaw's checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. Trey Lyles comes in for Poeltl, and it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. On the wing, Johnson. They grab their own miss. Kicks it out to Siakam. Pass to McCaw. Raptors moving the ball around. 4 on the shot clock. Goes back up. The shot's good from Gasol. Gasol's got 4 points in the quarter.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Spurs trail by 14. And here's Mills. He's got 7. Gay finds White. And it's off from three-point range. Siakam inside. He's against Gay.
You know, two things happen there. Excellent coverage on the shot, and then finish the possession securing the boards.
Takes the three. Rejected by Gasol. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. And some changes here for the Raptors. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Siakam. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Johnson. And Norman Powell subbed in for Patrick McCaw. Then for the Spurs, Bellinelli, he's checked in for DeRozan. And it's Bryn Forbes in for Derek White. Now here's Bellinelli. He's tightly guarded. Over Gasol. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot. This guy has been a catalyst for them all game long. What a job leading them to this lead.
Now here's Mills. Inside, Gasol with the steal. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Banked in off the glass. Hollis Jefferson's got his first bucket of the night.
Oh, Kevin, how about Hollis Jefferson's sensational athleticism? Fends off the defense effectively.
Spurs trail by 18. Mills looking it over. Can they get it? No good on the shot. Good work defensively by Lowry. In Toronto, they've gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. The shot by Powell, no good. Spurs shooting about 33%, not happy with their play on that end. Forbes dishes to Mills. Here is Forbes. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. Rejected by Gasol, and he's able to get it back. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Aldridge.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
First free throw is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Here is Lowry. He's got 16. In the corner, Hollis Jefferson. Back to Lowry. 5 on the clock. Powell for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists here tonight. And so it's Mills who will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. 19-point game.
You know, you think about the most important players in Toronto Raptors history. Vince Carter probably number 1. DeMar DeRozan would be on that list. But boy, Kyle Lowry has got to be there as well. Remarkable how far they've come since he joined the team back in 2012.
And the Raptors and Lowry both grew together, wouldn't you say?
A marriage made in heaven. Kyle Lowry has always played with a huge chip on his shoulder. He still carries that edge, but that maturity and leadership turned into a championship in Toronto. Doesn't get better than that.
The free throw drops for Pop.
Well, one thing there's no question about is that Norman Powell is a gifted athlete. Now it's about rounding out that game, particularly his shooting.
Well, Marcus Aldridge, he's checked in for San Antonio. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here's Mills. 7 points in the game. Count that one. Mills has got 9. And it's the Raptors ball. They're on a 13-4 run. Feeds it to Gasol. LaMarcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Spurs trail by 19. Now Mills. 9 points in the game so far.
How about the fast hands and lateral quickness of Norman Powell to get with his man and contest shots? That's good.
Over in the corner, Gasol. And again, Toronto no luck. Spurs shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. And Forbes kicks to Mills. 1:57 left in the third quarter. Good D by Gasol. Powell against Aldridge. Powell, that's good. He's got 16.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Now here's Mills while recovering. Shoots. Mills can't hit.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
Ibaka, the pass to Gasol. Shoots over Lyles. And Gasol gets it to go.
Well, Marc Gasol will never back away when he's got that kind of interior position.
We've got 1:13 left in the third. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Pass to Forbes. The pass to Lyles. 4 on the clock. Fader on the way. It's good. 14 points for Gay.
Love watching Gay stroke it from there. His in-between game is strong. Measures it perfectly.
Now here's Lowry. 16 points for him. And that one drops for him.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
And here are the Spurs. 35 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Aldridge. And it's blocked by Ibaka.
Boy, still a dependable shot blocker. That is what got Serge Ibaka playing time at the beginning of his career. Nice.
Here's Gasol. And Ibaka slams it in.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putback.
And GA, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow. Now the Raptors moving it up. Moving it up. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Well, to me, this is what Hollis Jefferson does very well. This guy, a phenomenal dunker with the ups he has.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead, and this one may already have been decided. The Raptors out in front, running away with this one. And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And the Spurs with possession here. They've got Thomas. He's out there with Norman Powell, and it's Hernandez in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here's Johnson. 6 to shoot. The kick out to Walker. There's the triple. That one, no good. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Here's Boucher, and there are the Raptors with another bucket.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
And the Spurs with possession here after the Raptors pick up 2. To the wing right side. Now here's Lyons, guarded closely. Here's Walker, finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Walker's got his first 2 points of the night. Toronto's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Powell against Walker. Pass to Hernandez. Out left to the wing. Here's Boucher. No good on that one. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Walker with a clean look. Walker missing again. Toronto shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. To the middle. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
You have to have the vision to find the open man. Beautiful pass.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Well, what a terrific possession. Attack in the painted area.
Raptors have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Powell, the pass to Thomas. And a chance now to look at the schedule coming up for the Toronto Raptors. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then on Friday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, and Kevin, this is going to be a very trying part of the schedule for them. More than a fair share of road games on the dock for the team, and have not had an easy time finding success away from home.
That's good from Thomas. Of course, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
Pass to Lyles. And taken away by Johnson. And the pass to Hernandez. That's in there. Johnson with the assist.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Johnson.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Thomas against Walker. Here's the floater. He takes it up and lays it in.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
Thomas with the ball. And here is Johnson. Outside Thomas. Just 5 on the clock. And the shot goes in.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
Lyles kicks to Forbes. Hits it from three-point range. Forbes has got his first 3 points of the game.
And in that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Here's Boucher. The 3 from Johnson. Forbes with the rebound. Johnson in the corner. Lets it go from deep. Spurs working now with a new shot clock. Samanic off target with the fadeaway. Toronto, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Here's Hernandez. No good there. So the Spurs will take it the other way. Here is Forbes. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Pirtle, he's checked in for the Spurs. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Now, here's Thomas. Pass to Hernandez. Rebounded by the Spurs. Walker the pass to Bellinelli. Here's Samanic. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Thomas passes to Johnson. Hernandez defended by Pirtle. Not going to go that time. And Walker's got the ball here for the Spurs. Johnson, a wide open look. A quick shot there, and it's off target. Here's McCall. Kicks it out to Johnson to stop the drought. Sinks the three-pointer.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Pass to Samanic. Now Bellinelli. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more three-point attempts than two-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade you see more three-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more threes than twos. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's 2 high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area twos, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and three-point shots. And everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
That's his third personal foul. Shooting for Toronto, Stanley Johnson. At the line for 2.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Johnson. The Spurs have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thomas. Passes it to Samanic. you and I were just talking about something Commissioner Silver said the other day about a proposed mid-season tournament. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think if they do move to a mid-season tournament, it's going to have real value for it to matter. To get the fans engaged, something has to be on the line. So, number one, you're going to have 2 goals. Instead of 1 championship, maybe you want to win that mid-season tournament too.
Walker's shot is off. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. And Thomas, here we go. Johnson with it. Boucher with the rebound.
And you know, you can't impact the shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
The pass to Simonic. Beyond the arc. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Johnson surveying the floor. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Walker the pass to Simonic. And here is Bellinelli. Outside, Walker for 3. He doesn't hit that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. McCaw, the pass to Johnson. Boucher kicks to Johnson. With the second effort. Boucher's shot is off.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
Now here's Bellinelli. Down low. Simonic passes to Pirtle. They could use a bucket. They get it back. It's blocked. Here's McCall. Bellinelli is covering. Bucket is good.
Great chemistry between 2 teammates. Love the passing.
And San Antonio shooting just 30% from the field here in the 4th. Johnson in the corner. Here's Walker. Clock at 6 from past the arc. Pirtle kicks to Bellinelli. Hands it from downtown.
I'm not seeing the same energy level in their rebounding as we did in that first half. They had been coming away with a lot of second chance opportunities. Not so much since the break.
Here's McCall. Johnson outside. Out to the right wing. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Knocked away. It's off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Of course, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports, worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
Now here's Walker. He kicks it to Pirtle. Johnson outside, tries from 10, tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup. Johnson's got his first points in this one.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Toronto.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th wins.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Hey, you know, guys, what a nice performance it was for Marc Gasol.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
That free throw, no good. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Now here's Powell. Puts it up from 12. Jump shot is good.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable.
Thomas against Johnson. 36 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And it's Zimonjic missing.
Well, you can see why the defense dared him to shoot it. That's not really his spot.
Pass to Powell. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Passes it to Hernandez. The tray. And it's Zimonjic with the rebound. Walker against Thomas. Now Walker. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Mark, how do you break down what went well for your team in winning this game tonight?
Just a good all-around night. We believe that in the fourth quarter, I think we did a good job of, staying in the game. We just believe. On to the next one.
Yeah, this is a veteran team, and you guys showed your experience down the stretch. Thanks, Mark. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.